May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings love life. May all beings awaken. Welcome to another Cuke Audio mini podcast. Brief memories of Shunryu Suzuki and those whose paths crossed his. I pray that you and yours are safe and comfortable, free from economic hardship, and able to get out and do whatever it is you want within the limitations of the universal precept of do as little harm as possible. So today's brief memory comes from the venerable Professor Carl Bielefeld, who was a student of Shunryu Suzuki's early on at Tassajara, went on to Japan to study, and really became a really top scholar in Buddhism, Japanese Buddhism, Sotos, and more. Anyway, he gave a talk at Tassajara on July 21st, 1991, in which he said, on the relationship between Soto Zen tradition and the more tantric stuff, Suzuki Roshi, I remember him saying it at the time, and I had no idea what on earth he meant by this. He said Soto and Shingon are brothers. Shingon is the closest form of Buddhism to Soto Zen. Shingon is the Mantrayana, the tantric school of Buddhism in Japan. So, yeah, that's interesting, and it's sort of out of nowhere, and it's unique. What it brings to mind to me is when Katrinka and I came to Asia in 2013, we flew into Singapore, came to Bali for a couple of months, and then went to Thailand and Japan. We spent 10 weeks in Japan. And we spent 2 months in Japan. We spent 10 weeks of that in Kyoto. And one thing we did was visit Ian Shortridge. And he took us over to the home of Ieyasu Morimoto, who wrote the book, I think it's called Shingon. And he gave me a copy of it, and I read it. I don't really read a lot, because I'm working with words all the time. His book is Shingon, Japanese Esoteric Buddhism. Anyway, he had been a student and lover of David Kidd, who was a famous character and art collector in Kyoto, in the, God, I don't know how far back he goes. But we had 2 really wonderful visits with Morimoto, who died not long afterwards. He lived right across the street from the Kyoto Museum in a lovely, 3-story home. It was like a really fine museum of Asian art. I mean, museum quality stuff. It had a coffee shop in the bottom that had closed, called David's. Anyway, he told us to go to Koya-san, and I said, I've always been dying to go there. So Katrinka and I went, and Koya-san is the Shingon, center, and it's a whole mountain of Shingon temples. And you take this wonderful, I guess it's a cog train, way up into the mountain to go there and stay in a temple, and you get this temple food. And I don't think there's anywhere to stay there but temples. And walk through the massive, extensive ohaka, which are like ashes sites. You can call them graveyards, but they're not graves. And anyway, I wrote a great deal about it. It's on Cuke.com. You just have to search for Morimoto. I think would be the easiest thing, Morimoto. And it's all in Saunters 1. Anyway, we just go right to it. You just click to open it. You don't have to know what it goes to. Anyway, we loved it. And we sat zazen in the morning with the master of the temple where we were and some monks. And he gave a little talk. My Japanese wasn't good enough. I mean, I hadn't been there in years. And a woman translated it who was a visitor, did a nice job. I understood a lot of it, but I couldn't have done as good as her. And I really liked it. I liked Shingon. I liked the approach. You know, the thing is that Shingon is like esoteric Buddhism, right? And it's got all these mudras and mantras and all this magic and stuff. You know, but when it really gets down to it, and if you read the book Shingon by Morimoto, you know, it gets down to it. The ultimate mudra is just however you happen to be at the moment. And a lot of it just gets down to that. It all just, to me, it all just got down to that. And that's the way I saw it to begin with. That's the way I see it now. You know, we hear this thing about esoteric teaching, and I know there are esoteric teachings and secrets and all, but to me, I'm really on board with the great esoteric teaching was very well expressed in the old well-known Zen phrase, chop wood, carry water. It's not hidden. It's right where we are all the time. There's nothing we have to do, no special practice to realize it. Personally, I like zazen, but to me, zazen is not a special practice. I mean, it's being still and just being there, following your breath, whatever you want to say. Just not trying to be anything other than what you are. We missed the mark for Buddha said 100 times. If you miss the mark 100 times, it can't be said to be shot in vain. How about 100 trillion times? Anyway, loved Koya-san, loved Shingon Buddhism, loved hearing that Shunryu Suzuki said that. And I'd love to go back there. Very comfortable there. This has been a Cuke audio mini podcast coming to you from not from my studio. It was all closed up for the weekend because Katrinka's visiting, so I had to get all that stuff out of there. And I've just been too much happening today with the construction going on here and stuff to put it back together, which won't take but a few minutes. It's not very complicated. But anyway, so I'm just recording this with my earplugs into my laptop. So my apology. But anyway, I'm DC Pubab, Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, coming to you from Sleepy Sanur with Doggett Bandita, Feline Cuchita, and dear lovely Katrinka, who is here with us in spirit, but she's staying with Alice because of the construction and the fact that we don't have a bedroom for a month if we're lucky. And we're wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.